Today our topic is what the samurai and Stoics have in common. At first glance, the samurai of ancient Japan and the Stoic philosophers of ancient Greece and Rome might seem worlds apart. One group is known for their skill with the sword and their warrior code, while the other is known for their calm wisdom and focus on inner peace. But if you look closer, you'll find that these two groups share many important ideas about life, strength, and how to face challenges. Both the samurai and the Stoics believed in living with purpose, controlling their emotions, and accepting what they cannot change. These lessons are still valuable today, and they can help us live better, more meaningful lives. Let's start with the samurai. The samurai were warriors who lived in Japan for hundreds of years. They followed a code called Bushido, which means the way of the warrior. Bushido was not just about fighting, it was about living with honor, discipline, and loyalty. A samurai was expected to be brave, but also to be wise and kind. They believed that true strength came from mastering themselves, not just their enemies. The samurai knew that life is full of uncertainty and danger, but they faced it with courage and calmness. They trained their minds as much as their bodies, and they believed that a clear mind was the key to success in battle and in life. Now let's talk about the Stoics. Stoicism is a philosophy that started in ancient Greece and became very popular in Rome. Famous Stoics include Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. The Stoics believed that the key to a good life is to focus on what we can control and let go of what we cannot control. They taught that we should not let our emotions rule us. Instead, we should use reason and logic to make decisions. The Stoics believed that hardship and challenges are part of life, and that we should accept them without complaining. They saw every difficulty as an opportunity to grow stronger and wiser. So, what do the samurai and the Stoics have in common? First, both believed in the importance of self-discipline. The samurai spent their lives training, not just to become better fighters, but to become better people. They practiced meditation, studied poetry, and followed strict rules of behavior. The Stoics also believed in self-discipline. They thought that we should train our minds to stay calm and focused, no matter what happens. Both groups knew that true strength comes from within, and that it takes hard work to develop that strength. Second, both the samurai and the Stoics believed in living with purpose. The samurai lived by their code of honor, which gave their lives meaning. They were willing to die for their beliefs, but they also knew that every day was a chance to live with integrity and courage. The Stoics also believed in living with purpose. They thought that we should always strive to be the best version of ourselves, and that we should use our time wisely. Both groups believed that life is short, and that we should make the most of it. Third, both the samurai and the Stoics believed in accepting what we cannot change. The samurai knew that death was always near, but they did not fear it. They believed that worrying about things they could not control was a waste of time. Instead, they focused on doing their duty and living with honor. The Stoics had a similar idea. They believed that we should accept the things we cannot control, like the weather, other people's opinions, or even death. Instead of wasting energy on things we cannot change, we should focus on how we respond to them. This is the key to inner peace. Fourth, both the samurai and the Stoics believed in the power of the mind. The samurai trained their minds through meditation and self-reflection. They knew that a calm mind was their greatest weapon. The Stoics also believed in the power of the mind. They thought that our thoughts shape our reality, and that we can choose how we respond to any situation. Both groups believed that we are not controlled by what happens to us, but by how we think about what happens to us. Finally, both the samurai and the Stoics believed in the importance of virtue. The samurai valued qualities like loyalty, courage, and honesty. They believed that these virtues were more important than wealth or fame. The Stoics also believed in living a virtuous life. They thought that the goal of life is not to be happy, but to be good. Both groups believe that true success comes from living with integrity and doing the right thing, even when it is hard. So, what can we learn from the samurai and the Stoics? First, we can learn to focus on what we can control. Life is full of challenges, and there will always be things we cannot change. But we can control how we respond to those challenges. We can choose to stay calm, to think clearly, and to act with courage. Second, we can learn to live with purpose. We should think about what is truly important to us, and make sure our actions align with our values. Third, we can learn to accept what we cannot change. Worrying about things we cannot control only makes us unhappy. Instead, we should focus on what we can do to make the best of any situation. Fourth, we can learn to train our minds. Just like the samurai and the Stoics, we can practice self-discipline and self-reflection. We can learn to stay calm under pressure and to think before we act. Finally, we can learn to live with virtue. We should strive to be honest, kind, and brave, even when it is difficult. These are the qualities that make us strong, not just in the face of challenges, but in our everyday lives. The samurai and the Stoics lived in very different times, but their wisdom is still relevant today. Life is still full of uncertainty, and we still face challenges every day. But if we follow the lessons of the samurai and the Stoics, we can live with purpose, strength, and peace. We can learn to control our emotions, to accept what we cannot change, and to focus on what truly matters. We can become better, stronger, and wiser, just like the samurai and the Stoics. So, let us take their lessons to heart and strive to live with honor, courage, and virtue. Let us face life's challenges with a calm mind and a strong heart, and let us make the most of every moment we have.